Question number 16 on the reading portion of College Board's Test 5. What is Grimke's central claim in passage 2? So let's remember, what does Grimke believe? Grimke believes that because all humans are human, that they all have moral rights, because they all act according to the same laws, they are identical with respect to what they are allowed to say, believe, and do. She even says slaves have exactly the same moral rights and the same human rights as a free white person. The only difference is that the society chooses to mute or ignore the rights of the slaves. But just because a society refuses to accept the rights of someone does not mean that that person does not have them. Because Grimke argues all people have rights and they can never be taken away, though they can be at certain points, again, diminished or muted. So that's what I think. That's what I think she believes. So what is Grimke's central claim in passage 2? The rights of individuals are not determined by race or gender. The rights of individuals are not determined, probably. The rights, because everyone has the same rights, so therefore just because you're a woman or just because you're a slave does not mean that you have more or fewer rights. It's just a construct. So what about B? Men and women must learn to work together to improve society. What? No, this is about like whether or not women deserve or whether or not women have the right to say things about slavery. Again, this is countering what Catherine Beecher said, that women need to exert their sphere of influence, exert their power and influence in their own little social spheres. Moral rights are the most important distinction between human beings and animals. That's like her main claim. She's arguing like, and the only thing that separates the animals from the humans is our moral rights. It's like, okay, no, this is about whether or not women are inferior to men and whether or not, in a way, slaves are inferior to non-slaves. That's what she's trying to make a distinction about. Humans and animals, again, this is one of these ones where I feel like in confusing you, when the College Board gives you a piece like this that's very nuanced, they want you just to grab onto something that you feel is safe, or to hope that it's like, oh, this is going to be my savior because I don't understand what's going on. Don't ever do that. Don't ever settle. Don't settle for an answer because you don't know what's going on, you give up. No, we don't talk about human beings and animals, and that's the main thing that she talks about. That's the big difference between humans and animals, is that we have moral rights. What about D? Men and women should have equal opportunities to flourish. This is like a good bad answer because this is the answer that you would pick. You're like, yeah, I believe that. That's what she believes too. Okay, what's her main claim? Does she say equal opportunity? She's like, yeah, men and women deserve to have the same opportunities in life. They should deserve to have the same opportunities in education, in jobs, etc. Maybe she believes that, but does she ever talk about that? Grimke never says anything about equal opportunity. She says that rights are human rights. Human beings have rights, and all men have human rights. Therefore, no matter where you are in the structure of society, whether or not you're at the bottom or at the top, everyone in that hierarchy shares the same set of human rights, the same inalienable rights. So, what does she say? The mere circumstance of sex does not give man higher rights and responsibilities than to women. So what does she think? What is Grimke's central claim? The rights of individuals are not determined by race or gender. That's, I think, the main, if we have to zoom out and say, what did she accomplish in this passage? Let's not try to find one instance where she talks about an animal or one time that she talks about whether or not people should have equal rights or equal opportunity. In general, broadly speaking, she argues that if we're all humans, then we all have the same rights. So therefore, race or gender play no role in that distinction and in that, partitioning of rights from people who have a lot to people who don't. They all have the same. It's just whether or not people decide to agree and to accept them. The answer number 16 is going to be A.